Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Morning Coffee Talks. Man, this is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I did a video on why men cheat, right? But I wanted to do a video on why women stay after their husband cheats, right? Let's talk about the pain, the love, and really parts of truth that many people don't really know about. Here we are on Tuesday, man. I'm having a fabulous morning. Feel like I got a lot of rest, and we're just gonna keep it pushing, man. I hope y'all doing really well out there. Um, the thing that people really don't want to admit is, why some women stay out that they being cheated on. And before me or you rush to judgment, we have to realize that sometimes it's not a weakness, right? It's a strength. It's not that they're being foolish. It's a layered situation. And I want to deep dive into a little bit of the emotional, the spiritual, and also some personal reasons why some women may stay even after betrayal. And a lot of times, man, I'm not just looking at videos of celebrities who are just specifically talking about this or whatever. I like, this is why sometimes I do like watching TikTok, but I have to be watching when I'm on it so much. But you hear it from the people, man. Not just these talking heads who are well known, but also comments. And it really gives you a lot of insight on how the community feels about it, how people in the streets feel about it. But, for me, I want to really, like I said, kind of put my touch on it. And I would say just up front, love, man, it's not just black and white. It's easy to say, like, for a woman, oh, I never stay, but until it happened to them. And so knowing that, again, love is just complex. You can feel it deeply, but you can feel the deep hurt, right? But still be deeply in love with that man. Or, women may stay because the emotional history, the shared life, or even the hopes for redemption, hoping that, hey, it's not, once a cheater, always a cheater type mentality. Love, man, the thing about love, it doesn't always make logical sense, especially when it's pain involved. Especially when it's pain involved. It just make people look at things totally from a skewed lens. But it can also make them look at it from a very practical lens as well, because there's other things behind it, right? There's a bigger picture behind it. There's family, there's faith, there's legacy. And with that being said, so many women, for them, it's about staying to protect the family unit, especially when it comes to kids. Many women believe in a covenant, not convenience. Others are driven by their faith and their values, and that's something that they prioritize. And for me, what I've been seeing is, it's kind of like in this quote, right? It's like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but this is kind of the quote, how I look at it. When a woman being cheated on, it's kind of like this mentality of, she didn't stay for him, she stayed for them. If that makes sense. She didn't stay for him, she stayed for them. And that was something that, a quote that I kind of came up with. And not to be coin anything, but it was just, that was kind of the sentiment I got from when women stay, after they being cheated on. And here's a really mind hack, right? Sometimes staying is a bigger decision than leaving, right? And this is one thing, man, so many women, again, we're talking about the internet, right? So we got to take everything with a grain of salt, and that's not everybody's situation. But it seems that, especially like the videos and stuff I come across, or like I said, I talk to a lot of different people in the streets. Too many women are quick to leave their situation, right? And again, I'm not just, they can do what they want to do, but you have to realize that staying may be the better option. It may be the better option. It's not always green on the other side. And especially, man, like, it's just too much going on now. Times are getting tougher. But I mean, if you can do it, you can do it without having to be in a relationship with two. I just talked about the Tiana Taylor situation. And for me, I'm always one to say, man, stay together. Figure it out. And that's not saying you can't find anything better or anyone better, but it's not the same, man. You put so much blood, sweat, and tears into your situation. Man, really think it through, before you make that decision, ladies. So, and that kind of brings me to another point, right? There's power in forgiveness and growth. Some couples, not all, but some couples rebuild stronger after infidelity. It requires a lot of work, a lot of accountability, and a lot of responsibility on what happened. And that's where it has to be both the mentality on the same page to want to fix it. There's a lot of hurt and pain in there, but it definitely can work. But the man, if it was on the man, right, and that was a conversation that led to the point, I don't want to say it's only, but let's say is that if he's on his mistakes, if he gets therapy and he puts himself in a position to have effort to rebuild that trust, then I would say forgiveness comes easy, right? It's not a weakness to forgive that man. It's just a choice to rise above the pain, right? And that's a situation where healing is now a possibility when both people are committed to making sure their relationship can keep growing. But on the flip side, I get it, right? Some women, they have a fear of loneliness, social judgment, financial hardships that can really keep them in place. They may not just have the means to just up and leave because they build such a big life or such a web of life with the other person. It's not just easy just up and leave. And also, shame can make a woman feel, like they failed or they weren't enough. The idea of starting over can feel overwhelming. What's the plan after I leave? It can always seem green on the other side. And again, sometimes, once that happens, that infidelity, that cheating, the love goes away. So it isn't about staying for love. Sometimes it's about staying for survival. And so this is what I say, man, before women judge other women or men judge women, for a woman who may stay, ask yourself, what's the whole story behind it? A lot of times we don't know what's happening inside of people's houses. We don't know what's being pillow talked, right? And also, if the woman stays, it doesn't mean she's accepting disrespect, right? And it doesn't mean that she's weak. Every situation different. But there's a bigger lesson. So whether a woman stays or she goes, she chooses healing, not bitterness, right? She chooses growth, not guilt. Because healing in any direction you put it, it definitely takes real strength. So that's kind of my take on it. What y'all think, man? Drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. And also hit that notification bell if you want to continue to see videos like this over time. And lastly, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button as well. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.